So let's just jump into this video. Obviously, the question to you guys right now, right off the bat, is should Guild Wars 2 feature native controller support? Should Guild Wars 2 come to consoles? And the reason why this has just been this persistent thought in my head, especially I would say like as a newbie into the Guild Wars 2 community, newbie coming back to this game, having played it originally back in 2012, and now just finished capping my Necromancer and have been working on my Elementalist, followed by Mesmer. No worries, guys. We're gonna knock out the casters. Honestly, it is a great experience. But here's the rub. Here's the problem that I realized last night. And while I've wished that this game had controller support, for me personally, last night I was like, this game absolutely has to have controller support at some point. Like, the fact that they don't have it yet, I think is a detriment to the game, and here's why. Last night, it was a long day, it was a hard day. Get downstairs, get all the kids to bed, and what do? I don't want to sit at a computer. I've been sitting at a computer all day. Not that that's a roadblock. So I sit down on the couch, and the one thing I want to play, the one thing I want to work on last night, the one thing I want to just kind of get in and grind out, I want to play some Guild Wars 2. And since I'm on GeForce Now, I could have played it. I could have just either played it on my phone. I could have just played it on a laptop. I could have just whatever. I wish I could have played it on my TV. But it needs controller support. It doesn't have that. So then it ends up being the mouse and the keyboard. And you guys have ruined me with your Tartarus, not sponsored at all, and the MMO mouse. Like, at the end of the day, like, these two things have been a real treat when playing Guild Wars. So I'm not saying that keyboard and mouse needs to go away by any means. Like, this is a really comfortable way to play this game. But it got me really thinking. What did I end up playing? I ended up playing Destiny 2. Having a new season, it's inviting. Destiny 2 from a content loop, just like Guild Wars 2. Like, you get it. Like, you feel it as soon as you step in. There can be a lot of stuff, and I've seen people in the comments like that have played this game for the last 8 years, and they're mad at it because ArenaNet doesn't put out enough content, or for whatever reason. I'm oversimplifying people's critique of Guild Wars 2, but as a player with so much content to do, that's what I wanted to do last night, but I was still met with physical limitations of just being tired. I just wanted to lay down on the couch. I just wanted to kind of let my mind not have to think or worry about what was going on, and I think that's the perfect PvE kind of content night. I wouldn't be doing PvP last night in Guild Wars anyway, and that's where it kind of dawned on me. And here's where I think it needs to happen more than anything else. And again, I definitely want to respect and honor your opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, like I said. But at the core of it, like when we look at games that are on their way, PSO2 New Genesis dropping the beta, I don't know why I said it that way, this weekend, going to be playing that. And then obviously the game comes out in June. PC, console, crossplay, all of that. It's got all those things rocking and rolling for it. And it's just going to make it easy so that when I sit down at night, rather than just jumping at Destiny, it's going to be easy to play Phantasy Star. New World is actually supporting controller support, and they're even going to go above and beyond later down the line. I don't think it's going to launch with like the full UI support, but at the end of the day, the bare minimum, it's going to be rocking that. Swords of Legends Online has controller support right out the gate. Not the full controller support, but at least enough where you can kind of sit down and you can kind of play. And it has me thinking and hoping that with the Steam release, a lot of rumors kind of persist. Yes, Guild Wars is going to be having controller support. Steam's going to have that Steam controller support, etc. And it has me just wishing, especially as a GeForce Now player, especially as a player who wants more accessibility options for Guild Wars, I think that's going to be something that's going to separate options for different players. Because for me, and I'm not going to sit here, like maybe back in the day when I didn't have kids and responsibilities, I would take the extra time to go and do whatever. But now it's kind of the path of least resistance. What's the easiest game that I can jump into right now that I want to play? And I end up having, and I'm a gamer who has like a handful of games. Final Fantasy XIV is one of them. Guild Wars 2, Destiny. Then we got Phantasy Star Online 2. New World is a possibility, and that's a lot. Like, that's honestly too much. Maybe I need to make a video about that next week, about how I've bitten off, hey, let me just play these really massive games, and then at the same time try to maintain some kind of sanity in my daily life. But anyway, that aside, the core of it is that the more I think about it, I think the more that I don't know the impact. I don't know how hard it would be for them to kind of go and build that in. beyond interacting with the UI, beyond some of those things, it would just be nice to kick back, fire up the GeForce Now, whether you're on phone or some other device, and just play the game. Just like not have to sit here and worry about it. That would have been what I played last night. If I had that option, that would be what I would play last night. But that's just kind of my thoughts. I just wanted to kind of sit down and get this out. I think that's one of the things that hold us back. As I've been diving more into Guild Wars 2, it's just such a great experience. And it just makes me go, like, if it was in more places. And the question that comes down to the console side, I know I kind of really mostly focused on the controller question this time, but on the console side, I don't even think it needs to come to consoles if it just supported controller support. GeForce Now is a really good option. From there, adding in controller support could add them into more devices that don't have to necessarily have to publish to a specific console, be that PlayStation or Xbox in this case. Honestly, and for as much crap as people give it, Stadia would be a perfect option, as if they had controller support. It has that keyboard and mouse controller. It ends up being, from a technological perspective, speaking as somebody who really is impressed by the technology behind Stadia, that's something that would be insane to see. And I think that'd be a real big win for them and a big win for Guild Wars, but it'd have to support controller. Much like, why am I drawing a blank on the name? The Baldur's Gate 3, which supports controller on Stadia, but yet not on PC, or at least maybe that's still on its way. I have to come in and check that out. It's been a while. So anyway, in summary, thanks so much for being here, guys. This is just kind of my rambling morning. I was like, I've been just all morning. I'm like, man, why didn't I play Guild Wars 2 last night? That's what I wanted to play. And I was like, I would have played that over Destiny. I would have played that over watching a show. I would have played it because it would have just been comfortable to sit back and do that. And then obviously shifting between the two control schemes, I think should be a must. And I think if Guild Wars 2 has that ability, they should absolutely take that opportunity, especially with whatever's to come down the pipeline. Whether it comes to consoles or not, there's a whole rigmarole with that, with when certification of publishing, but then all of a sudden you start talking about the power of cloud. And at the hell of it, at GeForce Now being a real good example of somebody who could have played it last night, whether it's on phone, TV, whatever, but didn't really get the opportunity because didn't support the controller. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Love to know yours. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully my little morning, I guess, rambling madness hopefully wasn't too off-putting, but that's gonna wrap it up for me, guys. Love you faces. Thank you so much. Hopefully you have a good day. Hope to see you in my next one, but until then, take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.